Welcome, welcome to Watching with Styles. Oh man, what a day! What a day! What a day! I don't know, man. There's so many things about this season, this um this era, the the expectations, and the funny part of it's not funny. That's the wrong thing to say. The thing about it is, as a coach, you are hired to be fired. And you are not appreciated until you're gone. And it's unfortunate that it takes events that leads a coach um to be kicked while he's down. It's it's narratives that are kicked around. There's narratives that this is Stoops' ball. And and since you are the leader and CEO of the program, you have to eat that. But I'm not sure the accuracy of statements like that. Statements that I can't say without a shadow of a doubt is false or true, but I know is strong. I feel strongly about Stoops not calling plays. First of all, I'm not sure Stoops even knows the terminology for the plays. Second of all, as I have heard from friends of mine that are in the coaching profession, and I know this to be true because of when I played, the head coach has a universal system where he can listen to offense and defense. The defensive staff has units that only tune into defensive coaches. Offensive has offensive headsets tuned in to only offensive coaches. The head coach is the only one that has to switch to talk to the DC and the OC. I have friends that are offensive guys, and the head coach is offensive coach. He doesn't tune in to the defensive calls. He switches over to tell the defensive coordinator, hey, you can use a timeout right now if you want to, or not. That's why you see sometimes on the sideline, the coordinator or the person acting as a coordinator running over to the coach, or they're talking, even though they have headsets on. Like, why would y'all not talk to the headsets? Because it's not switched on to that side of the ball. So the head coach can tune into the offensive coordinator. Hey, you have 2 downs right now. Let's say it's third and, what's up, JD? It's third and 5, or third and 4, third and 3 on the plus territory, or in the green zone. Head coach dials over and say, Coach, look, I'm going to give you 2 plays on this one. So the narrative that Stoops called offensive plays, to me, is a fallacy. And I could be wrong, but I know guys in the profession, and I've been told several occasions that if a head coach dictated what an OC call, and he's not the offensive head coach or the defensive head coach, that guy will not be here long. Or the next guy he hires, he ain't going to find a guy that's going to want to coach with him because the word will get out. So for me, for people whom it's just weird, the narrative is when things go bad, it's because of Stoops. But when Liam Cohen coached, it was because of Liam. Like it makes it make sense. As on a post game show, caller called in about the play calling, how Bush play calling wasn't good. Well, if Bush play calling is good, Steve Sarkisian play calling sucked. JD says Stoops coming Saturday and today made it pretty clear he's not calling anything offensive. But JD, you can never change people's narrative on that, because I've been saying this since day one that he's not calling the plays. But people go with it. That it's just weird. Now, when Eddie Gran came here, Stoops said he's the CEO of the offense. Eddie Gran came from Cincinnati, where they had a balanced offense, really more pass than run. And that offense was going to be that until Drew Barker got hurt. And when you have success and you don't have the talent on the perimeter, you have to play a certain way. The same way defensively. That's why I like Brad White a lot, because he morphs his defense to the talent level that he has on that side of the ball. That defense is not the same that it was in 2021 compared to it was in 2020, compared to it is now. But people want to say it's a certain defense, but it's not. It's not. I'm going to say this, as a new coach in the profession. When I first got in, we had a brand new group of guys. And we had to build them up. Those guys graduated last year, and now it's a new cycle. Got to build these guys up. And for me, I think that's the great thing about coaching is that nothing is the same. Nothing is the same. The other thing I like about coaching for me is figuring out what makes every player go. Some players you can yell at. Some players you have to console them because they want to be perfect. There, that's to me is the joy of coaching. It's finding out what makes a kid, what makes whatever it is in track, what makes it click, what makes like, oh, that's it. I get it now, coach. I get what you're trying to get me to do, which could be a totally different cue than a guy next to him. That to me is what makes coaching fun. Is it never gets stagnant. And like JD is on site, and JD says he's very Brad White is very flexible. He has to be like, boy, you know what, boy, just some just smacked me right in the face. But I'm gonna finish with this one, and then I'm gonna go to that. In this industry, in my opinion, in college football, there are 130 plus D1 schools. You pretty much have 10 schools that are your prime schools. So there are 100 plus schools that have no shot at getting to a certain level. And that's just reality. There's 100 schools that really have no shot. Zero. Can you get a year or two in here? Yeah, you can. But other than that, you can't. The thing that slapped me in the face that just threw me off is this. I wish that and I'm gonna say this, and I'm not gonna take credit if someone does it because this is the stuff that I hate. As for me, I'm a thinker of the game. It bothers me, or I think there should be an AI tool in a game for these so-called football experts. Because I'm gonna tell you this: I went to my first Kentucky football game where I was in the stands. That had to be early 2000s. Oof. Hmm. It might have been 2001, 2002. And the crazy part about it is that um, I think Mummy changed the home side. I think Mummy was the one that changed the home side, and it was on the other side. So I was sitting on what I thought would be the home side, and it wasn't. But there was Kentucky fans, and hearing what fans say in the stadium. Oh, I know what play that is. Oh, it's gonna be as obvious. It's gonna be a run. Look at. I want people to start calling plays like actual plays. Damn it! If you say it's a run, what kind of run? Is it counter? Is it G? Is it inside zone? Is it wide zone? Is it buck sweep? Is it toss sweep? Is it quarterback lead? Is it like all those things? Just because you see it's a run doesn't mean the defense can stop it. Like just because you can see run, I know it's a run. Because when the lineman fire off the ball, I know it's a run. Or certain down the distance, I know, but what kind of run is it? What kind of run is it? Is it off tackle? Is it misdirection? Is it RPO? Because people say shit and they don't really know. You can go over the umbrella, but do you know exactly what's going on? Like, is it a true blitz? What is a blitz? Is a blitz bringing 5? Is it bringing 6? I mean, football is about 60 out of 100 plays, but never super losing. If you super lose 3 or more plays, you can't win. It's football is a weird thing, John. I really don't think the Cats are that bad. See, JD, I'm glad JD is on it. They are not. Look, I'm gonna say this right here, and this is what's weird. The last couple years is people before the season said, "Oh my God, the schedule is tough," but then when you get in the season, they are upset that the schedule is tough. How many people before the season had us winning any of these October games? All I heard is, man, we got to get through October. And now that we're in October and we're losing, people are upset. I'm going to tell you, the only game that really upsets me is the South Carolina game. Like, really, where it swings my preseason prediction. We are one game off of my preseason prediction. We are 2-4. I had us 3-3, and that was at best 3-3. I did not have us beating Georgia, Texas, or Tennessee, but I did have us beating South Carolina. So, again, this is where it gets to the point of there is nothing Mark Stoops could do or say that can change the mind of a large, I want to say a large, because I don't know if it's large, of a segment or a section or group of people within BBN. There's nothing he can do. There's nothing. If he won out right now, it will not change it for a certain group of people. A certain group of people are going to be pissed because then they're going to say, oh, Mitch Bernhard is going to keep him. There's nothing he can say. There's nothing he can do. He has worn out his welcome with a certain group of BBN. Don't know if it's large, don't know if it's small. I don't know. But there's nothing he can do. So those are the loudest people, though. I will say this. The Fellowship of the Miserable, John, I will say this, is that no matter what happens, he leaves the place better than he received it. And I've heard a lot of stuff about this is similar to Joker, and it's not. Here's the reason why. When Joker was here, I know for a fact that this was said. The recruiting when Joker was here was we were competing against MAC teams for players. That's no longer the case. That's no longer the case. It has gone to a situation where this is that we have not hit on a quarterback since Will Levis. We just haven't. And that's the most important position in all of football, which showed on Saturday. When Cutter Boley plays, and I'm going to say this, Cutter Boley didn't play an elite game if you judging off of everyone else. Cutter Boley played an elite game for a redshirt freshman in that situation, in that environment. He made mistakes, but for the most part, he played a damn good game. That's why we were in the game. Period. Was because of the quarterback play. Then, when he made a mistake, the defense came up and had his back. That's really what happened. Cutter Boley played his ass off against the number 1 and number 2 defense in this conference. Period. There is no other way to say it. The great thing about it, in my opinion, is he will not face another defense of this caliber the rest of the season. Let's see what he can do next week, because this is a week-to-week thing. As everybody had us in a certain situation, if you pull off a victory next week, I'm not saying they will, but if they pull off a victory, the season can turn. And not in a way where they're going to win 7 games, but the perception can turn. The one thing for me is these guys are 2-4. They were 2-3 last week, and they are still playing their ass off. Remember last year, they were trying to get to Cancun. This year, they are playing their ass off. Let's see if it continues. That's the difference between this team and last year's team. It's the effort level. Unfortunate thing about it is expectations are sky high, and people don't like Stoops because he had his foot out the door going to Texas A&M. Because I don't want to hear the shit, well, it's because of off the field stuff, his family stuff, him going to Jeff Ruby's, him doing this and doing that. He was doing this and doing that when we were winning, and everybody loved it. Now when you're losing, certain group of people hate it. It's bullshit. If you liked it then, you can't complain now. Because he hasn't changed. The results just has changed. And there are some things within that building that he, with NIL, he took his eyes off the prize of what he does best and got too involved with, in my opinion, with the structuring of the NIL and stuff instead of just being a coach. And the asylum kind of took over. But now the asylum has some control. And the reason why I say that is because of how these players are playing when there's negativity. These guys, if they come out and play hard again next week, the leadership in that locker room is way better than it was last year. They're 2-4. They can easily pack their lunch. They have 6 games left. Let's see how they finish. Because, in my opinion, against that defense, the trend is up. Again, Oklahoma has a much better offense than we do. At least going into last week. And they only scored 6 points on the same defense. And that defense gave up 20-plus points. We only really gave up 13. You really only gave up 3, if you really want to be picky about it. So, it's a sad way to go out as a coach. And I've said it many times. I wasn't in agreement with the hire, but I'm totally in agreement with the results. He put us in a situation that was never thought about. And it's unfortunate that the last year and a half has been shitty. And I understand the pointing of the fingers on certain coaches, and I get that too. But go back again to last week. Sark has proven to be a good offensive coordinator. Maybe not a good head coach. but he's proven to be a good offensive coordinator. And that operation was horrible. Maybe because he has a bad offensive line. Maybe because he has a young quarterback. Sounds familiar. Does that sound familiar of last year? The only thing he has that's saving his ass is he has a great ass defense, which our defense wasn't great last year after Derek Jackson went down. So you play to the talent level of your team. I have never seen Sark call a game like that ever. But he had to call a game like that because he had to give his defense a chance. JD is bad O-line, young quarterback is the worst combo. That's what happened to us last year. He wasn't a young quarterback. He's an inexperienced quarterback. The same deal. This O-line this year is solid. Is it great? No. And I hate it when people say, well, like Pete gave up a sack. Do you know how good that defensive end is? That defensive end is going to be a high draft pick. And we put him on a one-on-one situation too many times, and he held up more than he didn't. I mean, how we passed the ball 40-some times. We passed the ball 40-some times. And he lost a couple reps. What happened to the other 30-some times where we had time? Like, that's the kind of stuff that if you want to look at one play or two, yes. Was Bush Hamdan last two calls in overtime shitty? Hell yeah. And the funny thing about it is, it's interesting when people latch on to what Ocho Cinco says. When Ocho Cinco doesn't know what Texas is and doesn't know who we are. Ocho Cinco says, draw. There was no fucking draw. Like, that's bullshit. But when he agrees with your narrative, now you want to prop him up. I've seen too many retweets of that. Narrative wins. Bush Hamdan is not Josh Heupel. Let's just go there. He's not Josh Heupel. But you had an offense that put up some big ass yards against a great defense. I guess he sucks though. See, but no one wants to give him credit for this game because of 3 plays. Not one, JD, but you know what? That's the funny part. That's the narrative. This guy scheme guys open consistently all night. Cutter Boley was 31 for 39. I guess he has nothing to do with it. When a quarterback does well, it's just a quarterback. When a quarterback does poorly, it's the OC. He was 31 for 39, y'all. We had, 400 yards of total offense? We had damn near 395 yards of total offense on that defense. He completed 80% of his passes. I think Texas' best total against them was Florida. I think Florida had 160 yards of rushing. We had 137. And our starting running back got hurt. But he sucks though. And that's the narrative. Here's the thing. When his players executed, they looked damn good, did they not? As I will say again, there were 3 plays that were absolutely horrendous to call. I'm going to say this. Those 3 plays don't happen if it's not for the play before that play. If Cutter Boley doesn't slide, and if Cutter Boley goes to the outside in the overtime and stays on the outside, them plays never happen. If Mark Stoops doesn't put his offensive coordinator in that situation, it does not happen. But if you want to hit on a narrative of he called it a bad game, you are like, for me, you already have a motive. You already have a motive. Same way in the Georgia game, he did not call a bad game. I'm hearing people saying the end of the game operations were bad again. How the hell can you start on your -10 with 67 seconds and get it inside your 30 with a chance to kick a field goal? How the hell can you say you get the ball? Texas screwed themselves up in the second half on their last drive. We should not have gotten the ball back. We got the ball back and drove again to kick a game time field goal with less than a minute. Where is that was good operation, but no, people want to talk about, kicking field goal on third down. What the fuck? Like, what happened to getting the ball down there and being an opportunity to even kick the field goal? What happens when you don't have any timeouts? Let's just chance it. Then you don't kick the field goal, then people get pissed off. Like, it's just crazy. Again, it's unfortunate the narrative is what it is. It's the same thing today. We're talking about pro-style offense on KSR. And what is a pro-style offense? Because if you're as old as JD and I, a pro-style offense is usually two backs in the backfield, tight end, an X, and a Z. That's the old school pro-style offense. Pro-style offense nowadays is quarterback getting under center. That's really the definition of a pro-style offense, because you can do play action fake. The quarterback turns his back to the defense. The defense doesn't know if the ball's been handed off or not. The quarterback is blinded for a split second. That's really what a pro-style offense is now. When your ass is in shotgun, you're not in a pro-style offense. It's the same thing with people calling coverages on defense. Like, do you really know what a coverage is? Do you really know the operation of a coverage? Do you actually know where guys are supposed to be? And what zones are covered and what zones are not covered? How many underneath zones are there? Who's responsible for their zones? See, I know from playing quarterback, there's no fucking perfect defense or perfect coverage ever. There's always a free zone. You don't have enough people to cover every zone. Even if you only rush 3, you don't have enough people to cover every zone. You have enough people to cover every underneath zone, but then there's zones open down the field. Like, there's no perfect coverage. Same thing if you want to be aggressive or not aggressive. Whatever the thing is, there's somebody open. We were fortunate in this game that there were several situations where Texas had guys butt naked open and they could not get it to them. And it wasn't because of pressure, because either people dropped the ball or bad pass. All right. Let's get into it. So there were, I would say, there was probably 3 or 4 game-changing drives for Texas and for this defense. The first one, in my opinion, might have been when Cutter threw that pick in our territory, like the plus, Texas got on the plus 48-ish, and they were unable to kick a field goal. That was huge. That was one. The second one is right here. You just went into halftime. You had great operations until you took a sack. Then you missed a field goal. That could have deflated this defense. But they came out and went 3 and out. 3 and out. That was huge. Not only 3 and out after giving like 8 yards up on the first play of the half. This was big. Then the other one was the last drive where Texas saved our ass with the guy running out of bounds. That's a great tackle by Ty Bryant. It was a great tackle in the moment, but it ended up being an even better tackle after everything that transpired after this. Penetration kills defenses. We did not let them create another line of scrimmage on this side of the ball. And backside guys are flowing and linebackers are flowing. And this is really good play to get a no-yard gain. I can't remember what linebacker that is. I think that's Rayner. That is a damn good. That's no gain. So now it's 3rd and 2. This is what's crazy. Is that Sark on 1 3rd down play early in the game, he went to a gadget play. And in this situation, he goes to a quarterback run because his offensive line isn't good enough to block on any kind of run play. Plus, he don't trust his running backs. So your best running back is your quarterback, which is weird for a Texas team. I know they got a running back that's hurt, but this play starts all with Green. They thought that this guy in reduced split could block down on Green, and then that would allow, I think it's this tackle, and is it a center, to pull and log on your 2 DBs. It does not happen. That penetration by Green ended the entire play. Y'all, they were 2nd and 2. And now it's 4th and 1. And we get off the field. That was humongous. So now, what can the offense do? This, y'all, it's mind-boggling. I want Cutter to pull it. And I'm not saying he gets beyond that guy because that guy has speed. But if he does, at least we get a net positive play. I think we get at least a yard or 2. The reason why, y'all, and this is why I in my estimation, should have ran this more. This is what we run the concept, but we never run the play. Okay. This is what's so cool about this play, in my opinion, if it's ran correctly. You're reading that guy. If he crashes down, you pull it. All right? So now here's where it gets really tricky because Texas likes to play man. These 2 guys are on these 2 guys. All right? Here's the great part about it. Just roll with me if he pulls it. If he pulls it and this guy here does a great job, he still has the option to pass it. This what makes playing defense hard nowadays is because of this. This is a triple option ran from one back in the backfield. If Cutter pulls it and he feels like that defensive end can get him, he could throw it outside. If not, won't you understand? If he beats that guy, there's only one guy left because these guys are playing the bubble screen. So for me, why don't we run all elements of this play? Like the call is to give it. But sometimes the defense plays the call just like we did on the last 2 downs when we was on the field. We shut them down. Sometimes the defense executes better than your offense. Therefore, why not give your quarterback the cheat code of pulling it if they are defeating that play? That's why you have these options, but we're not running the options. And here's the thing, we're not the only team that I watched this week in and week out from a lot of teams where they just calling inside run and not giving the quarterback the ability. John, I know what you want, but not everything you want is the right thing. Because right now, we're probably about to lose 3 or 4 yards. This defense is top 4 rushing defense in the country. Top 5 at least. They're top 5 for a reason. So now you are behind the chain. This is John, we never is strong. We have done it. Cutter does in this game later on, but we don't give him that option all the time. And like I say, it's not just us. It's not just us. As a former option quarterback early in my high school career, if a coach forced me to give it to the dive guy, I would be pissed. Because you're calling a play for me to read it. Why would you tell me to give it? And I had never had a coach that told me to do that. I must say this as I'm nearing 50 years old. I should have pitched the ball way more. And I had a elite tailback behind me. Like, really good tailback. But for me, why would I give it to somebody else? That was I guess my ego. Like, I could have pitched it many times, but I didn't. Like, for me in that situation, unless the defensive end or the pitch or the contained guy who was responsible for me, if he didn't crash down totally, if he slow played it, he made a bad decision because I was going by. So, John Calzada made a shitty ass read, and I don't think that was a read either. That was the dumbest ass play in the history of plays. Well, I don't even want to get into that play because that play so many weeks ago. But for me, you take that away from the quarterback, and you shouldn't. This to me it seems like a little thing, but it is a big thing of Cutter getting more comfortable in the system. Seth gets tripped by his own guy. And that is really your first read. They're running an arrow route out there right now on this boot. And Seth gets tripped right there. He loses that option. He's patient and throws a good ball. Now, is it a lot of yards? No, but it gets you into third and manageable somewhat. So 3rd and 7 is way better than 3rd and 11. If not one of the better plays, it is a huge play. All right. This is confusing because Texas is playing man under, but they're only running 4. Like, let me see how I can draw it. Let's do it this way. These 3 guys have these 3 guys. This guy is on him. Now the linebackers are responsible for the running back with a safety over the top in case something breaks down. Okay. But then you're going to have a lineman. This guy, whom is going to mirror the quarterback and hopefully get in the way of a hot route. Okay. So they're going to bring 1, 2, 3, 4. Because he has him. So they're not blitzing, right? And the crazy part about it, now I'm not an offensive lineman, but I play quarterback and I know some of the concepts. I'm not an expert at it, right? They have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 guys mugging the line of scrimmage. They have 4 guys head up or on the left side of the center. And we only have 3 on that side, right? And we have 2 guys for their 2 guys, right? So, whom are you going to slide to? You're probably going to slide to the 4 guys. So, therefore, Burton has to potentially slide this way. And that also means that the guard has to slide this way. This tackle's going to take the inside guy, and the outside guy, if they all come, is on the quarterback. All right. But they only bring 4. But the problem is that you dictated that these 4 were going to go to their left, where they only rush 2. And now you're useless. And a former tries to come off late. But Cutter does a great job of understanding what potentially can happen. And it does. And he waits until this guy to Gilmore gets across the field because he knows that's probably his best shot. That is a great ball, y'all, on 3rd and 7. That is unbelievable. That's on the Mount Rushmore of his best pass plays in this game. That kept the chains moving. That was to me, a momentum shifting play to give the offense some momentum, give them some confidence. Y'all, I showed this play and I remember it now. I'm showing this play because this can't happen. This is week 6. Learn your fucking playbook. Learn your playbook. And the funny part about it is people will say this is coaching. This is not coaching. This is guys not knowing their fucking plays, not understanding the formation, not understanding where they are supposed to be. So not only are we on the wrong side of the formation, we get shifted all the way to the other side. Now, he doesn't know if he's even supposed to be on line of scrimmage. That is humongous in my book. What the fuck? Y'all, I don't think y'all understand how the football guys was on outside. First of all, there's a fumble. Second of all, number 1 just took himself out of play because of the fumble. He thinks they have it. So he's not there. Number 0. Now these are their 2 best players defensively. All-world defensive end, all-world middle linebacker. Okay, the middle linebacker, the ball is right there. He has a clear shot to scoop and score. And his teammate stops him from scooping. And Pete falls on the ball. Watch this. Ball is there. Squirts out from there to cornerback. Number 0 is going to scoop and score. The ball is right there. He has his hands on it. His teammate bats it out of his hand, and Pete goes and recovers. Bruh. 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 How lucky are you? Third and 4. Now, he bails us out on this, but here's the thing. It shouldn't have even come to that situation. This is where and he got better in the game, he's getting better game to game. Okay? Cutter reads this side of the field first. He's reading that. He's reading. Why is it not working? He's reading that side of the whatever. It's not working. He's reading that side of the field first. He's reading here to here first. All right. If he doesn't like, he's got to come off now. Because for everybody who says that the receivers are horrible, that is a clear win by Kendrick Law. All right. He doesn't like what he sees over there. You cannot wait. You got to go to your next option. And he is still open. And there's no pressure on him right now. Zero. The O-line blocked their ass off. For example, he got himself in 3 seconds into that. If he stays where he stayed at, it's 3 seconds plus. All right. If he doesn't like it now you got to go backside. It's wide open. It's the ability to get off of what you thought is what you thought you had. If it's not there, you got to move. Same way in, was it Georgia game? Where he had Gilmore open. Yeah, it was a Georgia game. They ran a smash route. All they had to do was come backside when they had the 3-on-2 over there. That was the Georgia advantage. He thought it was gonna be man. It turned into zone. Now you gotta get off. Same here, you gotta get off. Kendrick Law is wide open. He won his 1-on-1 battle. And he won it easily. Let's watch. Let's watch this battle. That guy didn't even touch him. So I understand you're reading that side of the field. No one's open. You got to come back. You got to come back to here. Now, he's athletic enough where he used his legs and we got the first down. It didn't have to be that hard, but he's got to stop this spin move. He's got to stop that spin move. Oh, I love it though. This is these quarterbacks in college sometimes make these throws look easy. Y'all, that is a highly difficult throw. That is a long ass throw to the bottom of the numbers. I want you to understand it's 53 and a third. It's like, it's basically, I think it's 17, 16, 17, whatever. So, like I've done in the past, like that throw there. This is, that's 5, 10, -1 plus 2. So that's like 11-yard throw. This is like 20-some yards. So this pass is probably 20-yard throw. That's a long throw, man. And for him to put this on the money on the other side of the field, you have to throw a good ball. See how this guy has time to react? I think he starts pretty much a little bit outside the hash when the ball is thrown, right? Or he's on the hash, ball's thrown. He gets close to that ball. That's a long ass throw. Somebody would have to help me understand why Jason Patterson. I've been saying this since the start of the year. I was really on if you watch me for the last couple of years, you know how I feel about Wilcox. Obviously, I was wrong about him because he can't handle his business. But I was preaching with Wilcox to be number one for years now. He should have been number two, I thought. Even with Dowdell. If you're going to put Seth as number one of these young boys should have been number two. Dowdell is not that kind of back. This is your number two running back. Should be your number two running back. Like that swing pass there is different with Seth or Patterson catching the ball. This is how good this defense is. Cutter reads it right, he pulls it. This guy makes 2 false steps and able to retrace. We gotta get a block. Like, this is really a good pull, but we cannot get number 8. Right? If you look at it, he took the bait. Watch him. He takes the bait. He's like, oh shit, I gotta get out. I don't know if Macklin was responsible for him, but whoever, they didn't make the block, or if they thought Cutter was gonna outrun him. That's a damn good defensive end. That was a good play that allowed us to do this. Teams who like to play man, you just mesh route their ass to death. This is what Mississippi State did against LSU years ago. And then they came here and we had like 6 picks on whatever, I can't think of the name. The guy played at Stanford. Mesh route kills man to man. Number 3 has no shot. He doesn't even get a hand on Gilmore because he has the angle, because he's not inside. Right now, all Gilmore has to do is go that way. As I've been saying many times. Blue Jays to the World Series? Get the fuck out. The Mariners lost, JD? Get out of here. The Mariners was up. What happened? Damn, 4-3. They scored 3 runs in the 7th. Wow. I am a mathlete, JD. So he's beat by alignment. You're not catching up. The more important thing is that Cutter is decisive. Stands in the pocket, throws a dart. 4th and 2. That was big, y'all. 3-run home run in the 7th. That's crazy, JD. I definitely thought Seattle was going. The vision, the smoothness, the acceleration, like that. This guy's your number 2. I don't get it. And from what I have heard, he's done everything he's supposed to do. All right, 3rd and 6. I understand. I get it. I think this is the time where you put the ball in Cutter's hands. Not against one of the best run defenses in the country. You put it in Cutter's hands and see if he can do. You tell him, since you have the mic, Cutter, if you don't like it, throw out of bounds. I understand. You probably told him that on that sack, but you also got to give them chances. So we got 3. Defense comes back out. I know they are feeling better. I know they are. This is a play I actually showed during the game. Can't hesitate. All right, John. You can't hesitate. Can't hesitate. Shoot your shot. If you make a mistake, you make a mistake. The other thing is, these linebackers got to get depth. Got to get depth. Don't let the running back, don't let him influence you. If you are backing up, this play is non-existent. I think this is the biggest pass play of the game. All because of linebacker depth. Get depth. That's funny. What are you doing? You are not where you're supposed to be. What are you doing? The ball, the funny part about it, the quarterback takes his front hand off the ball and you are going forward. That's not, you know better. The other part about it is your teammate is pointing to you that that's where you need to be. Why are we 3 yards from the line of we at the line of scrimmage? Why are we at the line of scrimmage? Why are we at the line of scrimmage? Why are we at the line of scrimmage? If you're gonna play zone defense, you gotta get that. And this is, like I said, this is a situation where Arch is not pressured and they miss one. Defense can't get lined up. It's unbalanced. Say unbalanced. It's unbalanced. This tight end right here is covered up, which means he's non-existent. You don't have to cover him because this guy is covering him up. They need to have 7 guys on the line of scrimmage, 5 linemen and 2 receivers. The tight end and receiver on the line of scrimmage. So that means that tight end is covered up. He can't release. But it took us forever to figure it out. But we did figure it out. We played the run decently. So we get the 3rd and long. Now we got to get off the field. 3rd and 6, 3rd and, like, we got to get off the field. We bring 4, y'all. Some people thought this was a blitz. It was not a blitz. It's bringing 4. And I do understand the hand wringing about illegal touch because that does hit the offensive lineman in the back. He's the first guy to touch it. This is what's so great about this. Similar to what Texas did to us earlier, it's the same thing. All 3 of these guys, and they should have known something was up because these are all linebackers. All 3 of those guys are linebackers, right? All 3 of those guys drop. And we overload this side with these 3 guys. But here is the best part about it, is this guy. He's seemingly looks like he is on a tight end from the quarterback's perspective. So that means he's probably not going to blitz. So these 3 guys have to take those 3, and these 2 guys are going to take those 2. We're going to release the running back. We're going to release the tight end because we think we have enough guys. And they honestly do until they don't. When Gadsden goes inside, he takes the eyes of that guard. Boom. They have 4 guys, and this guy is in a bind because whom does he block? Because his guard is influenced by Gadsden. And now we go, boom, boom. What a play call. Y'all, we got there rushing 1, 2, 3, 4. That's not a blitz. And for me as a DB, I don't even call 5 rushes a blitz. I call it 5-man pressure, because you still have the opportunity to have an extra guy because you have 6 left. You have 1 freebie. Either you playing 1 Rob or you maybe 2-man. 6 to me is when you get to a blitz for me, because then you are playing true man-to-man across the board. I don't even call 5 a blitz. I call 5, just like I said, simple 5-man pressure, because they have 5 people to block it, and you might not get there. But with 6, you should get there, because they typically are not going to lead the running back in. And if they do lead the running back in, most defenses have a linebacker on a running back. He green dogs it. Once he initiate contact, that linebacker's coming anyway. This is a great blitz, simulated blitz concept that fooled Arch. Point blank. Get off the field. Great job. Now they kick the field goal. Like, if you call the illegal touch, he might not make it. This is what quarterbacks do. Get the ball out your hands. Now, their cornerback made a great play, but that's the right read. That is the perfect read. That's what you're supposed to do. Now, this play goes for nothing. They had this picked out early. Probably a poor angle by Wilrod. If he can make that block, we potentially have something going. If Wilrod can eliminate that guy, we got good block here, and we got a lead blocker here for the running back. It might be something special. But all it takes is for their athlete on a 1-on-1 battle to win, and he won. And he's a damn good player. Number 8 and number 1 and number 0 are great players, y'all. Simple as that. Again, this is the right throw. I wish he would have made it sooner. I also would have wished for Wilrod on this route to not keep going across. But once he realized there was no one on in the center field, is to sit right there and take the ball. Does he get the first down? No. But I think it's a completion. This is the right decision. That's the right decision. That's all you can ask from your quarterbacks, make the right decision. Boy. Gadsden just ate this shit up. I think he's head up. He's in a 2 maybe, or is he in a 3, or is he in a 1? And this guy pulls, and when he pulls, he shoots out a cannon. There's nothing that tackle could have done. When you shoot out a cannon like that, that's ball game. Woo, that is a great play. That's outstanding. I don't know why Arch just didn't run that one. Now, this is a blitz. This is a blitz. We're bringing 6. We're bringing 6 this time. This is a blitz. And I don't know. I'm still trying to figure out how the hell we're playing zone with only 5 guys. I don't know what that is, but whatever it is, it worked because we have everybody accounted for. Brad White was in his bag. That is one of the few blitzes. It's not like we blitzed all night. It seemed like it. This again. This is again. Style makes fights. Certain opponents make play calling easier. If they're gonna play man, you motion or you send guys across the formation to confuse. Who has that guy? Since he didn't have him, this guy had to make up for it. I don't know who has him. All right. Now you got 2-on-2. Who's going to win these battles in the blocking game? And our receivers this game did a damn good job of blocking. First down. That's a great call. Now we can't get away from the run, so we run a little bit. And now we get 5 yards. See, if you want to argue with something about the goal line, is maybe spread them out. If you want to run inside. But I don't think we should have run. Man, that is so smooth. The patience, the vision. He helped Caddis on this block by his patience. The patience. Set the block up, slide outside. Now we got leverage. Oh my God, that's pretty. Woo! That's pretty. Seems simple. That's pretty. Trying to give Gilmore a chance. Gilmore won off the line of scrimmage. You're right, John. It's unfortunate, though, that all that work, I'm still going to say the head coach should have kicked the field goals. Y'all, something is wrong by this. You do not have 2 eligible receivers in the same area, ever. But it worked out. It worked out this time. Great read by Cutter. He sees the opening. I've been preaching for this with a team who play man like South Carolina is you run the ball. He showed his athleticism. That is a great 10-10. Now I'm thinking, we're going to win this thing. At this moment, I'm thinking we're going to win this thing because their offense got their 7 points, luckily. Not luckily. They got it they got the ball on the fucking 5-yard line. All right? That's how they scored. All right. This is the situations of why, and we have a lot of these situations, of why we don't sit here and play press man. No shade, but we got to be patient. And this is what I hate about this. First of all, you're squared up with them. I don't like that for me. Other thing is you are 2 yards off and you're playing hard press. I was taught in the NFL, if you're going to play a yard and a half or more off, you have to soft pedal, which means you're just being tight, but you're going to backpedal a little bit. If you're going to play press here, won't you understand that just like Harley Gilmore had, with you being this far off, he has the angle to go right here, right now. And you can't touch him because you're 2 yards off. No matter what you want to do, if he goes, he's got the angle. So therefore, how you negate it is you soft pedal, maintain the distance, and if he goes in, you can try to beat him at the path. But you cannot play this way. This is impossible. Dude, he is wide open. We were fortunate. Just look at it. Don't open the gate for high school DBs if you watch it, because it seems like I get high school guys who follow me. If you plan corner right here, you want to just mirror him. He's doing nothing. You just mirror. You don't turn. See how this foot here? Oops, that's how I use this. See how that foot got wide and he turned his shoulders? So now his shoulders are slanted this way instead of straight back, instead of being parallel to the line of scrimmage. Right? If he's parallel, he can get him. That's crazy, Cobby. So when you open the gate, he can go the backside, and now you're beat. You don't use your hands, dude. He is beat. That's a first down at least, and he's still running if he catches it. Fortunate. That's why you got to have those kind of corners to do that, man. Now, to me, this was a drive. This was a big drive to change field position. This was, to me, I think, his best throw. This, to me, was his best throw because of his decisiveness. When number one buzzed the flat, and for him to see that and to throw that ball right now, that was decisive. That's him being comfortable in the system. I don't think he makes that throw 2 games ago. If we score on this drive, I think the game is over. I honestly do. I think if we score on this drive, the game is over. Oops, sorry, y'all. Like here, he's been doing such a good job of this. Get it here. Get it here. Let him get 3-4 yards. That's your angle. There's no reason to panic. All you gotta do is step up in the pocket. Like the O-line is doing a good job. You can't run up because you're gonna get too close to the front guys. All you had to do was slide and throw the ball right here. Throw the ball to Patterson. For sure. The game is slowing down for him. For sure. No doubt about it. Patterson will get you 3, 4, 5 yards in your second and 6 or 7. It makes a difference. Now, Pete got beat badly. But that was the first time. How many pass plays we had? See, I don't know why he didn't throw it. I would like to know why he didn't let it fly. Because I think he was throwing it here. What made him check up? Or was he throwing it to the tight end? I don't know. But whatever happened, I wonder what made him pull it down. Because that's a timing route. I'm just interested. Because they don't get the first down. I'm just interested what happened. If we score on that, y'all, I really do think the game is over. That's a great play by Lovett. I don't like that position of him lunging for a quarterback or for anybody. But he does a great job of reading pulling linemen. For the most part, pulling lineman takes you where the ball is unless they false pull, which does happen in games. I've seen some false pulls. He goes right where he's supposed to. That is a great play. That's a elite play. That's playing with good eye discipline. Woo, that is tough. Like, this is we gotta get better in zone concepts. All right. I want high school guys to understand this. In every play, they are trying to dictate where they want to throw the ball. 100% of the time. If this guy sits, this guy is coming across 1,000% of the time. 120% of the time, which I hate saying, because they're trying to read you. You want them to throw the short pass. You keep getting depth for the next level. See this? We got two guys too close to each other. If you keep getting depth, knowing, it's like this, y'all. I talk about this with my guys. It's like if a team goes, if they have doubles, right? And they run double slant, and you are in cover 3 and you are this safety, you probably have a linebacker in here. They want you to follow this to throw this one behind you. What you should do is once you see that guy go inside, you go opposite. And then you pick off this one because the quarterback is going to think you're going to cover that and you get an easy pick. Same thing here. When you saw that guy stick, you go here. You don't go there. Also, guys, you read the shoulders of the quarterback. The quarterback's shoulders never turn to there. These shoulders stay right down the hash mark. Watch. Arch shoulder stays right down the hash mark. There's no reason to jump there. You stay on the hash mark. The shoulders are pointed right down the hash mark. We were fortunate. Yet again. 3rd and 11. This is great defense. Get your ass off the field. That's amazing. Great hustle from the D lineman. Now we got to do something offensively. Now, we don't have good field position, so you got to be a little conservative because you don't want to do anything stupid. But apparently Seth left and came back. I knew something was wrong. Again, I don't listen to the broadcast. So I know something happened because Patterson was playing. I didn't know he left, got checked out, and came back. That's crazy talk. This is to me Cutter's security blanket. Empty. I think this is when Cutter plays his best. Unfortunately, you can't live in empty. Unfortunately, you can't live in empty against this team either. You put a lot of stress on your down lineman. But I think the picture is clear for him in empty. All right? I really do. That's a great catch by Gilmore. Yeah, I heard Steven went to the hospital. I heard that. That's the word on the streets. Number 0 is a monster, y'all. Now here's the problem. When it got to this situation, I was scared. And this is another situation for me where Cutter's got to let it rip. He had him He had Wheelwright open now. Why didn't he trust it? He wants to throw it. Why didn't he throw it? Wheelwright is open right there. Right? If he didn't like that one, Caddis comes open in this window right here. Why didn't he throw it there? I'm confused. Because it seemed like he was going to let it rip. But something, he was going to let it rip, but something stopped him. Dude, get it to him. Get it to him. That was an indecisive one there. And that could have got us in third and medium where we could have potentially, maybe, string the drive along. 3rd and 14 against that defense is you asking for too much. I was in the tunnel when he got on a UK golf cart and they took him towards the hospital. That's crazy, John. That's crazy. So now they got the down ball in field goal range after another punt return. And now our defense got to find a way, y'all. Got to find a way to hold them to a field goal as quickly as possible. And I'm going to tell you this. This 3rd down play here, I thought it was over. Because honestly, with 2 timeouts and them getting this 1st down was game. It should have been game. And this goes again. Our defensive back got beat like he stole something. If this is a better throw, this is a touchdown. If he throws that ball better and that run and that receiver doesn't just take himself out of it, that's a touchdown. We got beat like we stole something, but some people want to be aggressive. Even with it looking dire, this defense held strong. And this, to me, was the game right here. Sark tried to get creative and try to get us, and number 0 runs out of bounds. And 3rd and 1. That's the play of the game. Right there. And on 3rd and 1, CJ works. First, what was it? Calf tied. Arch is not a small guy. Arch is 6+. He's probably 2+ pounds. And for CJ to ragdoll like that, hold us to a field goal. Y'all, no one is talking about this right here. And they have been talking about it all year long ad nauseum about end of the game operation. 51 seconds. No timeouts. On the 27-yard line. This was perfection. Everything worked, man. This is the one that started because he had to get a 1st down. Because if he doesn't get a 1st down, we're in trouble. That's the first play. Remember, 45 seconds was when he went down. In 4 seconds, we snapped the ball. This is the second biggest play because I think in this situation we're dead. With their best players around Seth, this is when those 80+ plays came in handy. He outruns their best linebacker and gets a 1st down. It ain't the placement that's more important. It's the fact that he got a 1st down. So the clock stops. 34 seconds and 2 seconds, we got the next snap off. We fortunate on that, but we kind of needed the dead ball. To the sideline, gets out of bounds. Y'all, now they get offsides. Gets out of bounds. Replay, 3rd and 1. Do we need this? Maybe, maybe not. But it's big that we got it. Those extra yards matter. And we kick a field goal. Voila. If they make the field goal at the end of the half, this game is over. If they kick a field goal on the first drive, game is over. If they don't give up 2 punt returns to give their offense in a situation where they can score with 10 points, game is over. So overtime, we run screen. Now, what's so great about this is they got conservative on first down, and they played zone. And this is an underrated, high-level play call by Bush. Here's the reason: is with them mugged up on a line of scrimmage, right? When Will Rod motions over, we have 4-on-3. We have an advantage. That's why we got to the 5-yard line. Four on 3. That's a great fucking call. Now, I don't mind this call. I would have rather them be spread out. But for me, I thought it was a good call if you setting up this. And this is the setup, y'all. It's a one-man route. You are hoping that they bite, and you have a wide open run on tight end. Here's the thing, though. Right now, if Cutter slows down and follows your 2 big linemen around the corner, if he continues on that path, does he score? These are big guys here. These are big linemen. I want you to see where they come from. 97 is a lineman they dropped in coverage. I feel like if he continues to press the line of scrimmage, whew, now this call is harsh shit, and you should kick the field goal. This play is worse than the third down play, harsh shit. Kick the down field goal. Now we all know what end. I just talked through this. What's so bad about this is the players played well enough to win the game. And what's even worse is this is the what if game. If you win this game, you just beat a traditional power at home. Haven't won an SEC home game in years. This changes the narrative. It's a ranked team, traditional powerhouse, new addition to the conference. When people saw this game on the schedule, they already marked it as a loss 2 years ago. Fans, there are certain fans that, right, JD, there are some fans who don't care about this win because they are wanting to get rid of Stoops. But if you win this game, it changes everything. You're 3-3. You won an SEC game, and you won an SEC home game. You killed 2 birds with 1 stone. You stopped the streak of SEC games, and you stopped the streak of SEC home games against a traditional power. That changes everything. Your new quarterback played the best game of his life. The defense played the best game they have played in a year and a half. No, not true. In a year. You shut down an offense that just put 20 plus points on the probably the best defense in conference. You held them to should have been 10 points. Like this was the one you had to have. Being 3-3 at this point with 6 games left puts you on path to win 6 games. Auburn, Florida, gonna have new coaches. You know Florida has a new coach. Auburn probably gonna have a new coach, and Tennessee Tech. Those are your 3 games. That's just 6 wins. Remember, I didn't even count Tennessee. I said Auburn, Florida, Tennessee Tech. Those are your 6 wins. And with that level of confidence, could you pull off something with Vandy and Louisville? That's what this season could have been with this win. With the way these kids played in this game, they deserved a win. Period. And I was shocked to hear on KSR today that the guys, Adam, Drew, and Nick, told me that I was the minority of ones who didn't want to go for it on 4th down overtime. I personally don't get it. You couldn't get on the first drive against the best rush defense in conference. You take the points. Your defense has balled out. Their offense, when they got the ball, went backwards. They kick a field goal. Sure, that's fine. 3. Now we go to the second overtime. They get the ball first. Let's say they kick a field goal now again. Now, on that situation, if you wanted to end the game, you didn't want to go into the 2-point bonanza, whatever. Bonanza, I guess you go for it there. But you don't go for it in that situation where they can just kick a field goal to win. You see in a second opportunity, they kick a field goal. Now we're going to go for it. We're trying to win the game on this one play. If you make it on the first opportunity, that doesn't mean you win the game. That just means that Texas has to score a touchdown. But if you go for it on a second opportunity, that means you win the game. I don't get it. See, I'm gonna say this, John. The second down play was a killer, in my opinion, because if Cutter stays outside, he scores. He scores. I 100% believe that. If Cutter stays outside with Burton in front of him, he scores. And we're not even talking about this. I don't think you go for it. I just don't. Not in that situation. Not when they stop you on 4th down before. You haven't been able to run the ball well. Now, could you call a different play? Damn right, you could have called a different play. But I don't think you put your team in that position when they have fought so hard. You put them in that position when you had a chance to lock the game down on one play and you just run off the field. If they score on that, you don't run off the field. If they score in a second overtime after Texas scores 3 and they score a touchdown, you run off the field. So that's just me. I'm not going for it in that situation with everything that transpired in that game. But it's a learning experience. They were in this game because Cutter played the game of his life. Now we need him to play the game of his life for the next 6 games. That's just how it rolls. So, the It's gonna take another day or two for me to wash this stink off. But Irish Spring is the way to go. Irish Spring should sponsor my show because this is the second time I brought it up. I need to rinse this residue off because this is still on me because I still believe deep down that the coach lost this game. And I hardly ever say that. The punt team let us down, and Stoops should have kicked the down field goal. Damn. Well, y'all, that's all I got. The Sunday Monday therapy session helps. That's what I'm here for. Not only does it help you, John, it helps me too, for me to talk it out. This is my therapy too. That's why I started, really, for me to see the game and see what happens, and to give y'all insight into how film breakdown goes down for players after the game. Now, I'm gonna be honest, there's probably more colorful words during the breakdown with coaches, but it is what it is. Did you ever get an answer to the substitute? Yeah, John, I think I'm wrong. I think that is a rule. It's a substitution within the lines of the sideline. So what I think the 25-yard line is where the bench stops. So between the 25s, if you run out of bounds, it is act as a substitution. I appreciate you, Michael, for that comment. I received that. So that is, John, it is a rule. It is a rule. This is a short one, y'all. I'm gonna get y'all out before midnight. So again, I will say this: follow, like, comment. If you want to contribute to the house fund for me to continue to do this, there's a Cash App down here at the bottom. LA Bluegrass. If you want to give to the cause, I appreciate it. But I'm out of here, y'all. I got y'all out of here before midnight. I should get a feather for that. I appreciate y'all for tuning in. Like, comment, subscribe. I'm on TikTok at VStyle17. I'm on Instagram at LA Bluegrass. Go follow your boy there. And I am out.
1:16 left to play the game. Quarterback drops